Hey, what's up, y'all? The theme of today's video, I was watching something on Instagram the other day, and it just kind of got me to thinking. Basically, the theme is just embrace the cringe. Oftentimes, when we get started with shit, we look back on some of the stuff that we've done in the past, on the journey to just trying to be better. And this shit is cringe as fuck. I look back at some of these videos I recorded. I look back at some of the things that I've done in my past, just on the journey of trying to be, I guess, a better person or whatever. My growth journey and everything. And it's really cringe, bro. I'm not necessarily proud of those moments, but I am proud of them, because if I didn't go through that stuff, I wouldn't be here today. Got 3 points as usual. The first one is that you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Second point is that it's everything that you're doing right now, the cringe that you're kind of going through right now, it's all crazy until it works. And the third one is to just kind of give yourself some grace. To the first point, really, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Taking that first step is really the scariest part. You could figure out how to try to be consistent. You could figure out how to come up with systems and stuff and everything like that. Just keep going. But taking that first step, it really takes a lot of bravery. So, in order to begin the journey of getting to where it is you want to get to, it takes a lot of courage to just kind of step off that porch, hop off the porch and try to do that. You're going to make a lot of mistakes on this journey. The path to greatness, I'm not sitting here acting like I'm great. I'm on the path right now. That's how I'm learning this and figuring this out. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. It's going to be really uncomfortable. You're going to look back at a lot of the stuff you've done and just be like, damn, but in order for you to get to that point, you have to just keep going. When you first start, it is going to be really cringy. It's going to be, again, it's just going to be really uncomfortable, because you're going to be fucking up and making a whole bunch of mistakes, because it's like you're doing a bunch of stuff you've never done before. It's your first time doing a whole bunch of stuff. So, I mean, it's only expected that you're going to be making a lot of mistakes doing that. But again, in order to, what do they say? It's the journey of 1,000 steps starts with the first step, or something like that. Journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. But second point is crazy until it works. Whenever, especially if you're vocal about what your plans are and you have like these big ambitious goals that you want to go for, everybody's gonna have opinions about what you should be doing to reach those goals, or if those goals are even worth your time and energy. People are going to try to tell you, oh, well, you don't even, that's just a pipe dream. You shouldn't even put any time or energy to that. Everybody's got opinions about it. Everybody's going to tell you why it won't work out, what like I said, what you should do, why you should take their advice and all this other stuff. But what you have to think about, especially, again, if you have these really ambitious goals and you're telling people about it, which is why I don't necessarily advocate for telling people about it. Even internally, though, it might seem fucking crazy to you. Like, whatever goal that you might have, it might seem insane to you. Like, how is this actually going to work? Because it might be a huge, ambitious goal. It might seem crazy until it all works out, until it all starts to come together. You have the plan, you have you're putting the time and energy into taking the necessary actions. But once it starts coming together and the vision starts to get a little bit clearer and everything starts to make sense, a lot of those people, including yourself, that were like, yo, I don't know if that's going to work. Maybe you should do this. Maybe you should get a real job. Maybe you should do all this other stuff. All those people, they're going to shut the fuck up. They're going to be like, oh, man, I knew you could do it. Oh, man, it was genius how you figured that out, or whatever the case. Or they might even try to take credit and be like, yeah, remember I told you you should have done this, that, and the third. And it's just like, it's crazy to see how people flip on it once shit does start to work out. But that's why it's like, it's not even, obviously take any kind of constructive criticism that you get, because you might have good people around you that mean well. And they want to tell you what they feel could help you. But if you have a vision and you know how you should be going about stuff, or you have a feeling about how you should be going about stuff, stick to that path. And even more so, if you have people around you that are just trying to tell you, oh, you're crazy, that's never going to work, you should give up, whatever, and they're just trying to discourage you, and you could tell that's what that is, don't even pay that no mind. Just stick to your vision and believe it will work out. Because at the end of the day, as long as you just keep working towards it, you may not get the outcome that you imagined, and it may not be, exactly as you planned, but you'll be a hell of a lot further along than if you just gave up because you let other people discourage you. So at the end of the day, stick to your vision, stick to what it is that you want to work on. Don't let these other people discourage you, because those same people that are talking down on what you're trying to do, and those same people that are telling you it'll never work out, will be the same people giving you praises and trying to take credit for their contributions once it does work out. Once the seed that you planted bears fruit, So don't even let that discourage you. Just keep going. Number 3, give yourself some grace. Kind of to the point before the first point, that it's just going to be really uncomfortable. The reason it's going to be uncomfortable, anytime we have to show that we don't know something, or show our lack of experience in something, it's uncomfortable. It's like you don't want to seem stupid, and you're not stupid. You just don't know how to do this thing that you've done, or that you've never done before. Like, you don't have the experience, and it's like you are going to look like somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, because you don't. You've never done it. So how could you know how to do it? So it's like, yeah, you're not gonna look like you're somebody who has it figured out, because you don't have it figured out. You're trying to figure it out. But realistically, it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of mistakes, and it's going to take, that's how you build the experiences. Yeah, you're going to fuck up. You're going to make these mistakes, but you're going to log all that information and be like, all right, I tried this. This didn't work. Now I know not to do that way or whatever. And you'll kind of recalibrate and try to figure it out. But we tend to be really hard on ourselves, I feel like, where even though logically that it's inevitable you're going to make mistakes because you've never done this thing before, it may be really hard for you to emotionally make that make sense, where you might be a little bit harder on yourself, where it's like, well, I'm so fucking stupid, how did I fuck this up, whatever the case. And it's just like, you fucked it up because you never done it before, bro. You're trying to figure this shit out. It's not going to be something that's just going to intuitively come to you, especially if it's something completely out of your realm. You may be decent at certain aspects of it, but overall, if you're embarking on a new journey, whatever it is, you're gonna mess up. You've never done it before. You have to give yourself some grace to just be like, hey, look, the mistakes that I'm making, it's a part of the process. And it's gonna be like that for a long ass time. The greatest people in any field are still fucking up and making mistakes, and they've still had to fuck up and make a whole bunch of mistakes to get to where they are. They've had to make a shit ton of mistakes to get to where they are right now to be great in the field. So it's like, it's normal. You got to give yourself some grace. If you're frustrated with the process, maybe you need to take a little bit of, some time away, take a step back, take a breath, you know what I'm saying? But you just got to give yourself some grace and not be so hard on yourself when going through this process, because it's not going to do anything. It's not going to be productive. Being hard on yourself, people are already going to be critical of what it is you're trying to do. And then you being even more critical of yourself and what you're trying to do is just not going to be productive. What's going to end up happening is you're going to discourage yourself. You're going to make the process even harder than it has to be, just because you're getting in your head about things. So just take a moment and, like I said, just give yourself that grace to understand, like, trying to figure it out. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fuck up. But eventually, you're going to fuck up less. And that'll be great. And then you'll be a little bit better at it. And if you continue to keep going with it, you'll have more experience. You can look back on it. You can be like, damn, 15 years ago, I was straight ass at this thing. And now, I'm slightly better. And that's all that matters. Progress is all that matters. I think that's everything that I got for this. But yeah, like I said, man, to recap, You don't have to be great to start. You have to start to be great. Everything that you're trying to do, especially if it's this really big ambitious goal, even to yourself, especially to other people, it may seem crazy. Once it works out, it's all gonna make sense. Don't let people's inputs and stuff like that discourage you from going for it, because again, a lot of times people's opinions are fickle. Don't let that sway you. And number 3, give yourself some grace. You're going through it, you're figuring it out, you're gonna make mistakes. It's not gonna be easy. That's just kind of the nature of this. Just stick to it, man. It's gonna work out. But love y'all. Y'all stay hydrated. Catch y'all in the next one.